Hello everyone, it's me Max23 and welcome back to the Final Fantasy VI Tea Edition. In this episode, after having witnessed Kefka's godlike powers themselves, the party decides to leave the crazed jester's lair and starts making preparations for other challenges lying ahead. So sit back and enjoy. Okay guys, we are back. Last time we did have a little skirmish against Kefka. It was very interesting and my curiosity for now is actually sated. Which means I'm gonna go back to the overworld now and we will continue to do some stuff. I did already mention it, Kefka, in my opinion, with this party right now is fairly possible. And like I can do that, I definitely can do that. But of course we still have stuff open that we have to do, or want to do rather. And yeah, I will keep Kefka for the actual finale, which means my first objective right now is to get out of this place. Which is also easier said than done. I'm actually not sure how you get out of here rather easily. I cannot use magic here. I can actually use tip. Never mind. Since when could I use that? Huh, okay. And I'm Setzer again. Like, I like how you always default to Setzer when, like, the entire party is gone. But yeah, okay, that was easy. Nice. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, okay, in this episode, yeah, my goal for this episode. So, we did have our fun in Kefka's Tower. We did defeat the Warring Triad. And that was the important thing, because defeating the Warring Triad does unlock further side quests that we can do, and yeah, as such it was very important that we made the trip to Kefka's Tower. We will not do stuff that we unlocked right now. We will also not go to the ancient labyrinth right now. My goal for now would be to do some cleanup. We still need, for example, we still need to get some blue magic. We still need to do some like very small minor things that I did write down and have never shown you. And I also want to get some more rages for Go. And yeah, stuff like that. That's what I want to focus on right now. I also want to make sure that every character has like every spell at the moment that I can teach at the moment. So that also means I will do a lot of stuff off screen, of course. I also might want to finally find a solution for my two problem children, Carbuncle and Catoblepas. But yeah, you will see throughout this episode what I'm doing. But yeah, first of all, I want to go through the world and show you what, like some important things here. I take Mock for this, I also take Go with me, and I also want to take a Lock with me for now. I think those three should be fine right now. Most of all, I need Muludu Charm again. Here, yeah, okay. And take the wheel. Okay, the first thing I want to show you, one thing I did find off-screen like some episodes ago. Not some episodes ago, because that would not have been off-screen, but yeah, one thing I did see off-screen. If we return to the Cultist Tower, like over here, and there's a new shop here. There's indeed a new shop here, after we did get the Dragon's Horn, apparently. If we talk to this guy or so, I need to earn money to feed the Flying Dragon. And this guy sells us stuff now, and he actually sells us one item, and that's the Magicite Shard, which is very interesting. We can just buy that now. I'm actually not sure, that has some, that's important for the Colosseum. That allows me to, I think that trades for Elixir, if I recall correctly at the moment. I think you get Elixirs from Magicite Shards if you battle them. So effectively you can buy Elixirs here, which is pretty nice. By the way, speaking of Elixirs and Colosseum, of course I also need to get some more items off screen. I also need to get some like items from the Colosseum that I want to get. So yeah, that's the stuff you can expect from this episode. Oh yeah, that's this little shop I found. Like I said, could be important, but could also be not important. It is an easy way to get elixirs. Okay, next up we want to go back to Gao's father, because Gao's father also has something special for us. I think this, what I'm about to do, you can do after you get the scene with like Gao's father, like where Gao talks to his father and stuff. You know, with the tuxedo and everything. And I think you also need to recruit Locke for this. That's something I did read. You need to also get Locke for this. But yeah, once you do and fulfill those 2 criterions, you can talk to this guy and he will tell you this. You know, I nabbed me some bait that's real special, yes sir? Monsters everywhere just love to taste the taste of it, I reckon we could use that bait to gather all of the monsters onto the world, all of the world's monsters onto the world. What you say? What should I lure all the monsters onto the world? Yeah. Yeah, if we do this now, apparently what it does is all monsters can appear on the world. Basically, we unlock the entire world. We do not need to like encounter every enemy in this hack. This does, like this option here does that for us. And of course, that also makes the world more interesting again. I definitely want to do like 2 or like 1-2 runs of the world again, like 2 rotations of the world again, to see whether or not I can like get new rages, get new blue magic maybe. So yeah, we say yes and we unlock everything with that. Asking for a gaggle of monsters to gather around and whatnot. You guys are strange, huh? Okay, so yeah, all monsters on the world are now unlocked. Good, and I think that's already the part where I leave you and do my off-screen stuff. I will start with the Welt, and then I will also get some items already. I'm actually not sure how I do that. I will probably make like a small recap, like I did once already. So yeah, you will not miss out on anything. If I encounter something that is of value, that is important, I will tell you so. But yeah, for now, what I want to do is I want to spend some time at the Welt here. I could quickly show you the party I want to use for that, because I want to use a special party for that. Like the party that can like do everything, so to speak. And that party is, yes. Party is of course gonna be Gao. He needs to learn the rages. Gao to learn the blue magic. Realm to sketch, and Locke to maybe steal some stuff. I could also bring Gao, but actually Locke does have a lower level. You actually do not get XP on the Welt, so never mind. But yeah, I will bring those 4 because with those 4 I can basically do everything. Like I said, Gao learns the rages, Strago can learn blue magic, Realm can use sketch to maybe trigger some blue magic, and Locke can steal. And of course I can also use Ragnarok as well, and maybe morph some interesting stuff. But yeah, I will show you all of that in the recap, and yeah, for now I'm actually busy doing some stuff off screen, and yeah, wish me luck because that will probably take some time and you will see the fruits of my labors. So, without further ado, let's get down to business. Welcome to the recap where I show and present you the fruits of my labors. And we continue where I did leave you, which was the Welt. And the Welt was of particular interest to me, because you did see that we did obtain the bait from Gao's father. And I want to stress this again, even though I already explained it, but by obtaining this bait for the Welt now, it basically makes it so, at least based on my understanding, I haven't looked anything up or so, but based on my understanding, the bait does unlock all of the possible enemy formations you can encounter on the Welt. That of course kind of fundamentally changes how the Welt works, because normally you would have to encounter the enemy naturally first, the enemy group naturally first, and then it can be encountered on the Welt. But right now everything should be unlocked. That has some very interesting implications, because significant enemy groups that can appear on the Welt now are enemies from the Colosseum that we fought in the Colosseum already, but haven't encountered in the wild. Some, of course, completely new enemies that we haven't encountered at all. And something that is especially interesting, bosses. Some bosses can also appear on the Welt now. Of course, that means this is the perfect opportunity to get some rages, try some steals, and also get some blue magic. But yeah, let me list you all of the more significant enemies I did encounter. It should be noted that I did not manage to defeat all of them, because there are apparently some very high level enemies still left that we haven't fought yet. So yeah, let me quickly recap all of the new and significant enemies that I encountered. So it starts with the Brachiosaur, Armored Weapon, Vanguard and Colossus, Mimcoleon, Great Demon and Thor, Magic Urn, Crystal Dragon, Fiend Dragon, and Hakoa. Those are all the quote-unquote normal, new and interesting enemies I encountered. Of particular interest here is the Magic Urn, because the Magic Urn, in the base game at least, is widely known to be one of the best defensive rages Gau can learn. Because Magic Urn does give him, like, I think elemental immunity, if not even absorption against, like, all enemies. Magic Urn Rage does cast Kiraga, so overall a very, very defensive rage, which can come in handy. It should also be noted that not all of the enemies presented here have rages. I did not, like, check each of them, and like I said, I did not manage to defeat all of them. So it might very well be that like I haven't gotten like a rage, even though the enemy has a rage that I just named. But yeah, in any case, those are like some of the more interesting and unique enemies I did encounter. Then we have something which is also of incredible interest, because I did encounter one of the previous bosses we already fought. It was the Tricera. If you recall, that is the boss from the Phoenix Cave that also turns into this burning tyrant enemy that was protected by like Phoenix's magic, and we had to like make the air dry and extinguish his flames and stuff. Very interesting boss fight, but the Tricera, the first phase of the boss fight, has a golden apple which you can steal. And that is very significant, because technically what that means now is I have an infinite source for golden apples, and by extension, Soma drops. Because what you can do, you can wager the golden apple at the Colosseum and can get a Soma drop in exchange. So, because I technically, theoretically, have an infinite source of those items now, I can get at least 9,999 HP and 999 MP, considering that the hack does not break the limit in that regard, which I don't think it does, but I could raise my MP and HP to the max now if I wanted to, if I ever felt the need. But that's something I, of course, will not do right now, but it is interesting that I could theoretically do that now. Okay, and then we have something else I did, and that was getting the 2 missing blue magic spells that were still missing. If you paid attention, there were only like 2 empty slots in the blue magic list, and I did manage to track the 2 missing spells down and learn them. The first one that I learned was level 4 Hold. That was pretty easy to learn, because I did also go through Gau's Rages to see whether or not there's something that looks like a blue magic, and level 4 Hold was one such ability. I simply used Gau's Apocrypha Rage, and he used it in battle and Strago learned it. Very easy to learn, so that was the lesser problem here. And the bigger problem was the last remaining blue magic. I did already mention like previously that I had like a list of several spells or skills that I did find interesting and considered maybe blue magic. So I did went through that list and I did not learn the last remaining blue magic spell. So that left me at like basically nothing. I didn't really know where to get the last remaining blue magic. But I was lucky. I was lucky because I accidentally more or less found it. The last remaining blue magic spell that was missing was Ripple. And I learned that by fighting another unique enemy we haven't encountered, which was the Emerald Titan, I think it's supposed to be named, because like the game does abbreviate it, but I think the usual name is Emerald Titan. And I simply used a sketch on it and learned the Ripple spell. So that means we have all the blue magic in the game now, which is of course pretty nice. That's something I wanted to do, so that's one more thing off the list. And I must say, overall, the selection of blue magic is pretty nice. Good stuff. Yeah, with that, my adventures at the Welt did conclude, and I moved on to the next objective on my list. And the next objective on my list was to get some items and replenish my supplies. And what that means is I did get some X potions, high ethers, X ethers, elixirs, and even mega elixirs. All of them I did obtain by the usual methods, using the solitary island to steal X potions, also a couple of high ethers, go to the Colosseum using the respective chains I did already show you. I used ornament bells that you can buy from Tamasa to get elixirs. I also was able to convert some of my magicite shards into elixirs. That's also the method I would generally prefer because magicite shards lead directly to elixirs. Ornament bells, you need to get a healing rod first and then you can get elixirs, so it's one more step. But yeah, so I did get some elixirs. What I also did is I did wager my golden apples, all of them that I had, and I converted them into summer drops. I generally do consider MP enhancing more worthwhile than increasing the HP, because the HP increase is not all that much, and I think I can do much more with more MP on Go-Go, of course. Not on anyone else, just Go-Go. But yeah, I did get some summer drops, so that was basically all the stuff I did at the Colosseum. I also did some shopping around the world, visited like all the shops in the world again, seeing whether or not I have like all the items, and I also did buy some new supplies there, some normal consumables like eye drops and the likes. And did spend some gil. I actually did have quite a bunch of gil. I think I at some point had like over 1 million gil also from my time on the Welt, which was pretty nice. So I had more than enough money to do all this stuff here. And another thing I also did go to the solitary island again, and I did go to the shore where you need to get the fishes in order to make Sid survive at the beginning of World of Ruin. And I did get some fishes, just because the fishes in this deck are counted as key items. And I think I have like all 4 kinds of fishes now. I wasn't really sure like when those fishes appear, so I thought, yeah, just do it off screen now and use the opportunity. But I have all 4 of them. I think it's also only 4 of them because like there's like the very fast fish, the moderately fast fish, normal speed fish, and like the slow fish, and I think that makes all the 4 special unique items here. I'm not sure if they even mean something, but it's nice to have them in the inventory. And that's basically all item-wise I did. Then, the last thing on my agenda was doing some plain and simple leveling. I did actually have some characters that were starting, or like in general were falling behind, level-wise. So I did set out to remedy that. and I did so in front of Narshe on the overworld. The encounters there are easy to defeat and do yield a decent amount of experience. And I used the characters Zetsa, Mok, Edgar, Cyan, Strago, and Sabin to get some level ups. And Sabin especially did receive some special attention because Sabin was still missing one of his blitzes. And we did already get Phantom Rush, but getting Phantom Rush does not unlock all the previous blitzes, so I had to train him because Sabin does learn his blitzes like at certain levels. And because one was missing, I wanted to finally learn that. So I did give him some special attention. I gave him the XP egg that I had. And with that, it was actually pretty fast for him to gain levels. In general, like for those characters I used, it was pretty easy to get level ups. Like I said, in front of Narshe is a good location. The enemies there are generally easy to defeat. If you use Bahamut and Mega Flare, you just take care of all of them in one Bahamut, which is nice. And they also do yield a decent amount of XP. Enemies are also not too strong, so you're also not running the risk of dying all that often, even though that happened to me a couple of times. The Great Mantises you encounter are actually kind of dangerous. They do hurt a lot. But in general, it was pretty easy to gain levels here. I could also go back to Narshe into the Beginner's Hall, use the bucket there to replenish HP and MP, and basically rinse and repeat everything and get some level ups pretty quickly. And Sabin learned the last splits he was missing at level 49, which was actually pretty high, but I gave him the experience egg, and with that it was actually pretty fast still. And he learned actually a unique move, a move that I haven't seen in the base game, so of course it must be new then. It is actually a very interesting like 3-hit combo. He does like 3 attacks with that. And might be actually very, very useful, very strong if you have the right setup, but yeah, very interesting to see. Might want to use that at some point. But yeah, that concludes my normal leveling, just increasing the base level. But what I also did, and that was basically the final thing I did, I also did make sure that some of my characters did learn and catch up with magic. So I did set out to the Triangle Island with the, Zone Eaters and Skull Eaters to get some magic AP, and the characters that learned some spells this way were Zetsa, Edgar, Shadow, and Cyan, because those were some characters that were lacking behind in the magic department. And yeah, all of that I just mentioned, the Welt, getting some items and doing some leveling for my characters, it did actually take a couple of hours, so don't be surprised that the hour count did actually increase. We actually moved past the 100 hours, which is nice, so yeah, 100 hours of Final Fantasy VI T edition, pretty nice. But yeah, I think my preparations were definitely needed for the challenges ahead. And it also allowed some of my characters to catch up. Like I said, Zetsa, Mok, Edgar, Cyan, Strago, Sabin, all of those characters I haven't really used that much. And to be honest, I don't think I will use all that often. But I have some reserves if I want them now. If I want to try some fancy strategies, it's nice. But yeah, I think all of that was pretty much worth it, and I do feel ready for the challenges ahead. And who knows, maybe that was also enough to carry me through the remainder of the base game here. Who knows, we will see whether or not I have to do another of those off-screen preparation things. You know what, okay. And with that, I go back to the present, and yeah, present Max can take over now. Alright, thank you Recap Max, welcome back to the present guys. It feels good to be back, doesn't it? But yeah, the question is, what do we now? And I have an answer to this. I want to show you some other weird things I encountered while doing some stuff off screen, some stuff that I thought did not really fit into the recap, and that I want to show you right now instead. So yeah, let's set out to do this. And we start with showing off the blue magic that I obtained. So I did tell you that I obtained level 4 hold here, and also Ripple somewhere. You can see here the entire list is full, very nice. But yeah, here, first off, level 4 hold does exactly do what you think it does. It casts stop and slow if the enemy level is divisible by 4. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. Could be very useful against some enemies. Need to try that. Need to leap over the enemy first, of course, but yeah, who knows, could be useful. Ripple, on the other hand, is the far more interesting skill here, because Ripple does swap statuses with target. That has some very interesting implications, and from what I've read in the base game, that is also the source of some very weird bugs and stuff. For example, if you like cast Ripple on like Shadow, and like if you swap the statuses with the enemy or so with Shadow, like it does cause some very weird effect where you can lose Interceptor permanently. So I'm sure that's fixed in this version here. At least I hope so. But the implications of this is very nice. It could be very interesting if the enemy, for example, does use stuff like, who knows, Mighty Guard, and I can just swap it back to my party or so, or at least one character. Could be very interesting. Probably has some interesting applications. You will see. But yeah, so much for that for those two blue magic skills. Okay, next up, we want to go back to the Colosseum. You can also see here Zetsa and Edgar are in the party. Those are trained, as you can see. They had like level, I don't know, 36 or so. And they are level 40, 41 now, respectively. Very nice. Hopefully they are able to do more stuff now. And you can already tell that they have higher HP and MP, of course. Zetsa, of course, also very interesting with the loaded dice still. That's also the reason why I brought those two, because I wanted to use more of those unique strategies that are character-specific. And Edgar has also a very interesting weapon that we got in Kefka's Tower. And the weapon I'm talking about is the Gungnir. I think we did steal the Gungnir from Demon. Not Demon, what is he called? No, actually it's called Demon. Yeah, Demon. You know, the guy with the, like the strongest of the Warring Triad, the first guy we fought of the Warring Triad. Gungnir is a very interesting weapon. I can quickly remove that and show you. I hope it's actually at the bottom here. Yeah, it is. Because Gungnir has the very interesting like passive ability, if you want so, that it has multi-jump. And of course, multi-jump allows you to perform very strong jump commands. But that's not how it ends. It seems as if Gungnir only enables you to do multi-jumps, and you still need to equip Dragoon Boots to be able to jump, but Gungnir basically is two things in one. It does not only enable multi-jump, but it also gives you the jump command, which is very good, because basically that combines two relics into one item without even spending a relic slot, which allows me to combine it with other very powerful relic combinations. So yeah, very strong actually. I did try that out already in the Colosseum, and it did prove to be very, very strong. To be honest, I did use it with Gao, not with Edgar, but Edgar too should be able to make great use of it. You can also see normally only Edgar can equip it. Of course, with Merit Award, other characters can use Gungnir too. But of course, that also means that you need to spend a relic slot. So yeah, with Edgar, that could make for some even more interesting combinations. And those combinations do I want to try. So he gets it back real quick here, Gungnir. Cool. Yeah, otherwise, equipment-wise, best stuff. He has the lower dice setzer, and I think otherwise nothing you should like really feel alienated about. Like usual stuff. But yeah, let's go to the Colosseum. This is a good place where I can show you the power of Gungnir and also some other interesting stuff. Because there's also something very, very weird I encountered while testing some items in the Colosseum. Of course, I did not solely get like some consumables here. Like I said, high ethers and like X potions, X ethers and stuff. I also did try out all of the new items I got from Kefka's Tower, like the aforementioned Gungnir, of course. And like most of the stuff was what you would have expected. Like most of the stuff just lead to a fight against Typhoon, and it does not yield different items if you quote-unquote manage to defeat Typhoon, which I, by the way, think is impossible. I did try out to use jump and kill him, Typhoon, because that's usually something you can do in the base game. But as far as I can see it, I can also actually show that off. Wait a second, I show you that. I think Typhoon is impossible to defeat. Let's use one of the unique items here. Ragnarok should suffice. Okay, we have a fight against Typhoon. By the way, it would probably also be pointless to beat Typhoon because it would just yield another Ragnarok. But the thought is what counts here. But yeah, I'm gonna use Edgar. Edgar should be able to jump, of course. And if he jumps and comes crashing down, first of all, when he jumps, he should be able to avoid Typhoon's SNES, of course. And when he comes down, he should also hopefully deal enough damage to defeat Typhoon. However, even though, yeah, the bar is full now, I do not get a command window here. I do not get anything. I cannot import any command, and he just snorts me away, and yeah, that's it. I get the feeling it's impossible to defeat Typhoon because you never get the option to enter a command there. That is, I think, different in the base game. You can still enter commands and you can actually defeat Typhoon. I think there are strategies for that. Also, like some weird strategies with Shadow or so. I'm not sure. But that's something I did read up. And yeah, apparently here in this deck it's completely impossible to defeat Typhoon. Probably to avoid some conflicts, I can also show you something else here. Because there are also some items that lead not to like itself again, but to question marks. Spachus, oh no, I don't have my Florifel, was it not? Gembox maybe? Yeah, Gembox does lead to question mark, 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 question mark. So I think in order to avoid some weird conflicts or so with the new items that are in the game, the hack creator made it so that you cannot actually fight Typhoon here, because I would have gotten the option here to input something, but nope, I cannot. So Typhoon is impossible to defeat, that's at least what I'm thinking, so I'm not gonna try anymore. But yeah, what I actually wanted to show you is the strength of Gungnir. We can quickly do so by, yeah, here, Potion. No, not Setzer, okay, yeah, that's of course wrong. Also, don't get crazy about me, like, spending, like, some weird items here right now and losing some items here. I will reset after I did show you everything here. There's only one particular thing I really want to do here and keep, but that's something I will do separately after I reset. But yeah, High Potion, Setzer is awesome, nice, but I did not want to show you Setzer, I want to show you Edgar. So if we jump now, he has the jump command. I should probably also have showed his relics to you. But he jumps now, and he also performs the multi-jump. 1 and 2. Only 2, I think that can also hit even more times from time to time. Like, I think it can hit, like, maximum of 4 hits or so. I think that's what I recall. It's a little bit random, but it's still very effective, as you could see. And here, as a proof, he does not have, like, Dragoon Boots or anything equipped. He has Brave Ring and Hermes. Brave Ring does work in conjunction with Jump. I did make some tests with Jump. Like, something else was here, that, like, didn't really turn out. I think I tried it also with the Genji Gauntlet and dual wielding lances, but the damage was severely reduced, so I did not really like that. And he was also still only doing like 2 hits from time to time, so I thought it would be better off to equip a shield instead of a second lance and keep the relic slot for something else. But yeah, you could see Gungnir is pretty strong. I can also show you a different encounter which I use to measure like effectiveness and stuff, and that is the Iron Giant if I wager a Magicite shard. Guy is also pretty tough, I need to be careful, please jump. Yeah, okay. Of course, Iron Giant is a very high-level opponent. Let's see how much damage Edgar deals against him. Yeah, 2000 is still pretty good. And also multiple times, so yeah, pretty nice. I will get confused now because he uses Rocket Punch and I cannot get... Maybe I even die? Nah. Oh wait, he does not use Rocket Punch, nice. Like, normally he uses Rocket Punch here and Edgar gets confused and he kills himself and cannot win the fight. Okay, 1, 2, 2 hits right now. I think it can hit even more times, but I'm not sure. But you can see it's pretty effective. That's a very high level opponent we are facing here, and it still deals like 2,300 damage here, which is pretty nice. So Gungnir is pretty effective. But yeah, another very odd thing I noticed, if we fight the Iron Giant again and use Setzer this time around, Setzer still has the Loaded Dice equipped, and I always thought Loaded Dice ignores defense. To be honest, I think it should actually ignore defense, but for whatever reason, if I face the Iron Giant here, Loaded Dice is very ineffective against it. Not Rocket Punch now. I think he has a ribbon. Please tell me. No. He will kill himself. I just want to show that. Okay, it actually shows you a little bit, but it deals 19 damage, like 139, and that like 7. Nice. You can see it's not very effective here. I'm not sure why that's the case. Like the only explanation I have is that Loaded Dice actually does target the defense. That might be a change from the hack, of course, from T edition, in order to nerf. Not again. In order to nerf the Loaded Dice here. Actually misses. Wow. Yeah, that was a pretty good roll and only 300 something damage. Yeah, that's not very effective at all. That was something that I found curious, but okay. But yeah, the very weird thing that I encountered here and that I want to show you is if I wager an XP egg. And the XP egg, apparently, if you wager it here at the Colosseum, is kind of bugged. Where is it? XP egg, XP egg, XP egg, XP egg. Here it is. First of all, it also does not have a description for whatever reason, which is pretty odd. Like XP egg in general seems to be like a pretty weird item. But yeah, here we have XP egg. I will wager it now. But keep in mind my count of... where is it? Of, I think it is Balmung I possess. I have 2 Balmung. So keep that in mind. If I wager the XP egg now... I need to find it again. If I wager the XP egg now, I do get a fight against a guard for a Brave Ring, which is very strange because the guard is a very low level opponent, and getting a Brave Ring for that is also like pretty good in comparison. Of course, nothing against the XP egg, but pretty good actually. We can use Terror for that. That guard should be one shot. It's a tutorial enemy. Full strength does not save you now. Goodbye. And of course, we do get a dagger now. For whatever reason, we get a dagger now. And what it does, I should not have the XP egg now anymore, right? But the thing is, I still have the XP egg, and instead, what it traded, basically, was one of my Balmung. I did lose a Balmung. I only have 1 now, and I did get a dagger now. I know, very weird, but that's how it is. I also did try what happens if I have no Balmung anymore. I did not notice that anything decreases anymore, but I still did get the dagger and the fight did work. But apparently if you wager an XP egg, you do get a dagger, and if you have a Balmung in the inventory, it does subtract 1 of your Balmung. And that might be something very weird with the item IDs here. IDs here. It could actually very well be that like Balmung is item ID number 1, for example, and that's why it subtracts Balmung as like a failsafe in case there's like no real item ID or so. Who knows what's going on behind the curtains here, but the fact is that is what happens. Like I said, I did not notice that something else gets subtracted if I don't have Balmung anymore. I also did try if like changing like the item here does like subtract the other item instead, but it doesn't. It is still just Balmung. Let me try that again. Let me show you. So we did switch Balmung with Shadow Blade right now. Now I have Setzer, he will do 4 attacks. Annoying. Please kill him. You can see the dice rolls here are much better, by the way. Of course, if you get good rolls. Okay, we obtain another dagger. And look at this, we have 5 daggers now, previously we had 4. And we did lose the Balmung and not the Shadow Blade here. Very strange stuff, I have no clue why that happens, but that's how it is. XP egg is very weird, but if you don't have Balmung and want to get a lot of daggers, I think that's how you do it. Not that would be an effective way to get money or so, but you can do it if you want. But yeah, that's something odd I wanted to show you. And now let me quickly reset the game, and we will do what I actually wanted to do. Actually, I did the wrong thing. I wanted to do it differently. No, because I wanted to use the opportunity to show you something else. I wanted to quickly show you Jihad. I did already explain Jihad, and it also says so. Jihad attacks enemies and allies alike. Jihad basically is a completely useless Esper, because the damage Jihad deals is absolutely absurdly high. It will definitely, like in most cases, eradicate your entire party. It's not worthwhile measured against the damage you deal to the enemies. But yeah, just for completion's sake, let me quickly show you what Jihad does. That's something I quickly want to show you here. Nice, even preemptive. Jihad, let's go. Targets everyone, uses cleansing. But the animation is also kind of cool. We have the Devouring Triad here, or at least what people suspect is the Devouring Triad, and whoosh. Look at this. Wow, destroys even the entire like graphics. Nice. Yeah, you could see it dealt like 1,600,000 against the enemies and like 8,000 against the entire party. So yeah, I'm not sure if I could potentially find some usage or some way to use Jihad here, but I don't think so. I also did have a party member in the party right now that had the hero shield, so that confirms pretty much that Jihad also does not have like any element associated with it. So yeah, not really sure what you're supposed to do with that. I would need like some kind of very special item for that in order to make Jihad viable. But the thing is, I don't have such an item, so Jihad is kind of pointless. Cool. Also, you can see a save file here when I had 100 hours on the clock. Very nice. But yeah, we are at 109 hours right now, which is also quite a lot. Cool. But yeah, I want to go back to the Colosseum again. And this time around, I actually want to try to get a usable good item here. There's an item we haven't gotten yet, and an item that is very interesting. And that item is the Mirage Vest. We can get in Mirage Vest. I'm not sure if we can also or could find a Mirage Vest naturally here in some kind of treasure chest or so in one of the dungeons we haven't visited yet. But we can get one by using a Minerva bust here. We fight a Crystal Dragon, which is a high-level opponent and very dangerous. That's the reason why I want to use Gungnir. Gungnir should hopefully be enough to kill the Crystal Dragon. Probably not in one jump, but we will see how stuff turns out. If not, then I just need to reset again and... Yeah, okay, that was one of his weaker moves. He can use Break, that is dangerous. I would need a ribbon for that. Yeah, 3,000 damage, pretty nice, pretty good. I think I'm dead because I don't have a ribbon equipped. Yeah, stupid, okay. Reset. And that's something I quickly want to get. I did already do so off screen. I did get the Mirage Vest. I didn't save it, of course. But I can already tell you that the Mirage Vest is actually not that impressive of an item. Also, yeah, ribbon. Don't want to give up Hermes, but let's try it like this. That guy cannot be too strong, the Crystal Dragon. It's a little bit sad that I need to trade in one of my Minerva Bastions here, but I can still get some from like doing the one like Tombury Night Patrol side quest. Again, if I do that, I could get some more Minerva Bastions. Night guy avoids a lot of hits right now. You can already tell why I really liked using Gungnir in the arena here. Oh, dude, come on. Do I really need to use Go for that? Last time I did it with Go. Yeah, even though I did train Edgar, Go is still superior because he has like more HP and stuff. Let us quickly do that because otherwise I get annoyed. So, yeah, you should suffice. Nature killer, blah blah blah. Here, blah 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 blah. And you, I haven't. Okay, let's quickly do it like this because I need the Gungnir for that. Remove. You can also remove hero real quick. Relics. You get the merit award. Otherwise, you cannot equip Gungnir and a ribbon. Gungnir, Hero Shield to get the best defenses and stat boosts, of course. You should know the drill by now. Where's Hero? Here. Head Royal Crown is good, I think, and I could use Reflect. Magic Evasion is also pretty nice. Oh yeah, that's also something I did tinker around with off screen. I did try to get some kind of setup that gives me like 100 magic evasion, 100 normal evasion. I think the best I could reach was like 90 and 80 in the difference in one of the, like 90-80. Like 90 in one evasion and 80 in the other. I think that's the best I could do. And that included using like imp token, the most evasive items and stuff. But that's already pretty high, and that seems to be kind of viable. But nothing I want to tinker around right now. That sounds like some kind of setup for a Shadow, because he also has Interceptor, so another layer of like physical damage at least avoidance, so could be a very interesting build if I did try that. I'm still not sure what the imp token in general is supposed to do. Look at the damage here, like, nice, pretty good. Oh, Shadow Flare's nasty. That might actually still kill, and that would be annoying because I didn't save. Never mind, 0 down. Yeah, of course, it's Shadow Flare, and Shadow is an element in this. Nice. Mega Whirlwind is nasty because that reduces my HP to critical health. But still, jump again. I think last time when I did fight the Crystal Dragon here, I needed like 3 jumps or so we did already get one in. Just need to do 2 more times right now. The second one is underway. Shadow Flare again. Shadow Flare is good. I think the Crystal Dragon should not be able to one-shot me right now. Never mind. Oh no, dude. Come on, I just quickly want to do that. Of course, can't be so hard, right? Remove. A Hero Shield and Gungnir is definitely the most effective equipment pair I can equip in the Colosseum right now. We just take Go with us this time around. And Go in general is, I might say, one of my strongest party members overall. Like, of course, the sheer amount of rages he already has. I can also show you that real quick. We got, at the moment, we got 229 rages. When I counted the holes here in the list, when I counted the missing ones, I did arrive at like 30-ish missing rages. I hope we will encounter those along the way, otherwise I just need to spend more time at the Veld, of course. But looking good, it looks good. We probably will be able to fill out the entire rage list here, which is something I have never done in the base game, because in the base game, of course, the mechanics are much more annoying to fill that out. So, yeah. But here it is fairly easy with all of the stuff, of course. Like, you can learn rages even outside the Veld and stuff, and don't need to jump on enemies and, like, be at the mercy of encountering the right enemy formations and stuff. We could also use Reflect, maybe. think Reflect might actually be better here. Need to save again, otherwise I go crazy if I need to do this again. I could also quickly use Golem and get some additional layer of protection. Of course, I could have gotten the Mirage Vest off-screen, but because this is new, I did consider it to be important to show like live here and not off-screen. That's my reasoning behind this. And if it takes some time, it just takes some time. In general, this episode might also be a little bit longer because there are also some other things I want to do in this episode right now. Basically, what I want to do in this episode, I want to conclude all of the like small stuff that I still have open, and the small stuff also includes like once bigger stuff I did mean to do a long time by now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We still have like some stuff to do, and also by the way, because of the cut I had to make and the stuff I needed to do in between, I'm also not sure how long this episode at the moment is, anyway. So yeah. You can maybe look forward to a longer episode. But at least then I know we have done everything, and that was pretty smooth. And you obtain a Mirage Vest. Nice. Good stuff. I show you what the Mirage Vest does, of course. Like I said, it's probably nothing I really want to use because it's a little bit strange, but Mirage Vest. A vest that produces mirages, and it gives you the Auto Blink status. That sounds pretty powerful. It can also be equipped by every party member. It sounds pretty powerful because like normally the auto abilities like auto haste and stuff does like always persist and like always exist. And if you recall, Blink is the status that makes it so that you always avoid physical attacks, and if you do, it has like a 25% chance that the Blink status does get dispelled and you need to apply it again. And of course with Auto Blink, that makes it sound like as if you have permanent Blink and it never gets dispelled, but tough luck, it does get dispelled. It still does, because otherwise that would just be insanely OP. But what it does, it gives you Blink at the start of the battle, which could be very useful for like certain battles, but otherwise I can't really see the use over like more defensive items. It also does not have the best defenses overall. It does give you 15 evade, which is pretty nice. But only 20 defense, 20 magic defense. It's certainly nothing that makes me scream, yeah. Like if you compare that to, yeah, Black Robe here, which is also not the highest defensive armor I have. 52 and 50 magic defense. Yeah, much better than Mirage Vest. But like I said, for some niche boss battles or fights, this could be very useful. Who knows? At least I have it in my inventory. If I want to get more, I just need to get more Minerva Bustiers. Like I said, I can do the Night Patrol side quest, pub quest again, and I need to fight Tombery Trios in order to obtain Minerva. So that's something I could do, but that's something I won't do. I also got 2, Terra currently has 1 equipped, so that's why I only have 1. I have 2 for Terra and Celis. The only reason I would want to get more Minerva Bustiers is for the Mirage Vests. If we wager the Mirage Vest again here right now, I think it just leads back to the Minerva Bustier. I think it's a loop, I think. I can quickly show you that as well. Here real quick, if we go here, Mirage, never mind Mirage, it gives me, yeah, Minerva Bustier again, against a against a significant DVK enemy here, Alchemia. And that's something I do not want to do right now. But yeah, in any case, if I ever tire of the Mirage Vest in my inventory, I can convert it back to a Minerva Bustier. Cool, nice. Okay, now quickly de-equip Gao here, because he does not need his stuff anymore. He is currently out of commission. I want to get my other party back. Actually, I do want, but I need to do something else first. Because the next things that I want to do involve different characters. Characters I haven't really used that much, or like characters I need in like specific locations, and those are Shadow and Strago. I also want to go with Realm here and Terror just in case I do run into an encounter. But yeah, we want to go to Tamasa again. And because there's apparently a special event there, only in T edition, that we can trigger if we have Shadow and Strago in the party. And that is not Tamasa. Tamasa is down here. Yeah, over here. Ah, come on, land. Up, beep, beep, up. Dup, beep, up. Okay, double save again, of course. Okay, I'm not sure where we trigger this event now. But I think we just need to go to Stragos' and Realm's house. Dip, dip, dip. Fairly certain there should be an event here right now. Maybe if I investigate this, find it up, yeah? Okay. Maybe I need to sleep here, who knows? Could actually be it. I cannot read the book. Okay, that's strange, I thought I would already trigger it. Maybe it's specifically because I have Realm currently in the party. I can quickly talk to everyone here. There aren't any good places left to play. Yeah. I think the event I'm about to trigger is actually a dummied event in the base game that was re-implemented into T edition here. I think such an event does like partially exist in the base game, but is inaccessible to the normal player. Where can I sleep here? Here in. Wait a second, is that? Wait a second. He moved into a different, like, location here. I want to hear something neat? No, actually not. Or maybe because it just... Okay, I never realized that he moves there. I was saying why does it trigger something. I think I found my man, but not. Not the case. Let's sleep here. Maybe sleeping does something. Dum, dum, beam, boom, beam, boom. Ah, music does not immediately continue. But never mind. Huh, okay, that's strange. That is not good. Let me quickly switch Realm back out. Maybe that's the issue here. Maybe I cannot have Realm and Strago and Shadow in the same party for this. Because I think I already know what the exchange is about. That we are about to witness. How about with just those two? Who knows? Maybe I also need to lead with Strago, could also be. Landing. Let's go back to Stragos' house. I'm fairly certain that this is the point where the exchange does take place. But nothing is happening. Okay, this is strange. Can I read the book here? No. Not sure what the trigger for this is. Okay, maybe I need to lead with Strago. If this works, actually. And still nothing happens. Okay, I might need to look this up again. Because actually something should happen here. I did already get a scene with Strago and Realm here with the music box. I'm not sure, maybe it does override the event with Shadow then? Who knows? Yeah, everything okay? Did I already show you that if you talk to this to Gungo enough times, he does say that Hedon is back? If I do this multiple times here, at some point he will mention that Hedon is back from the dead. Everything okay? Everything okay? Everything okay? Everything okay? Maybe I already triggered it. They already triggered and I'm not realizing it. I think I did already show you, right? That if you talk to Gungo multiple times, it does re-trigger Hedon and you can fight Hedon again. Which of course is made because you should still have a chance to obtain his Grand Delta lore. Okay, weird. I'm not sure how to trigger this event. That's, by the way, also something I could mention. A very interesting thing I did learn when I was like doing stuff off screen and was actually looking some stuff up. I'm actually not playing the most up-to-date version of T Edition here. I'm playing version 2.9.5. I think that's the version I'm playing. I'm not sure about that. I think it's 2.9 something. That's the version of T Edition I'm playing. And that's not the most up-to-date version that exists. I think the most up-to-date version of T Edition, I need to pause for that and need to explain that. I think the most up-to-date version for T Edition currently is 3.0.5, I think. That's like the most up-to-date version of T Edition. And yeah, I already mentioned T Edition originally is a Japanese ROM hack. So I'm playing a translation. I need a translation to play this. Actually, I don't need. I could just translate it with like Google Translate or so. But of course, for convenience sake, I have installed a translation for this hack, which exists. It's the translation by Tomato. By the way, all of that you can also find in the video description all the time, of course. But yeah, I'm using the Tomato translation for this. And I did find this one at romhacking.net, which is generally the source of like ROM hacks and translations that I use. But apparently that translation was not up to date. There is a more up-to-date translation also from Tomato, or I should rather say from like people that have like inherited the translation from Tomato and still maintain it. And yeah, basically I'm using an outdated translation for this, for an outdated version of the T Edition. And there has been like a more modern version, like for 3.0.5 of this translation for that version of T Edition. So basically I'm like playing a version that is a little bit not up to date. And it lacks some features like some future versions have, and that I did not know about. So, but yeah, that also has a charm, right? Like that's stuff like stuff in the 3.0 version that I mentioned that is new and would have benefited me greatly here is, for example, the ability to play to fight Katopepes and Carbuncle in the World of Ruin. That's something that's not part of the version I'm playing, but that's actually part of the most up-to-date version of the T Edition and also translation that you can get. And I think also if you install the most up-to-date translation for that, you would also need to install a lot of like other fixes because like there are some like programming issues and stuff like between the base game, base T Edition and the translation on top of that. But yeah, that's stuff I learned. I also learned that there's apparently like a secondary translation for this, which is called the LUA Translation. That also has like some interesting features. The most interesting feature is that it comes with like lists and stuff about stuff that is like new to T Edition here, like a list of blue magic and stuff, which I can and could use as a reference. But yeah, that's stuff I learned. Long story short, I'm not playing the most up-to-date version of T Edition with the most up-to-date translation. Make sure that you get the most up-to-date stuff. I think the most up-to-date stuff, by the way, cannot be found on romhacking.net, which I usually use. It can be found on NGPlus. I might or might not put a link to that in the video description as well. But yeah, just so you know, there are more up-to-date versions of T Edition around. And I'm playing something that is a little bit older, not like excessively older than what's up-to-date, but a little bit older. But that's just something I wanted to mention, and I guess now I need to make a cut because I'm not sure how to trigger the event I want to trigger. One thing I could quickly try, maybe I need to see all of Shadow's dreams. Because that's another thing on my list. I want to witness all of Shadow's dreams. Who knows, maybe if I sleep right now I will trigger another dream. I'm not sure how oh yeah, okay, nice. Okay, that's the dream where he leaves realm and his wife behind, right? No, that's oh no, that's where he arrives in Tamasa. Hey, are you alright? And there's also this dog. Where am I? In a small village called Tamasa. Come on now, pull yourself together. Nice, okay. I think that's actually for my yeah, normal good night sleeping here. Everything is ooh, that's kind of eerie. Nice, okay. Oh, how many dreams did we already see? We did. Everything is quiet. Wow, scary. My version is cursed. Okay, never mind. But now the music here is bugged. It should normally play like a theme for the character right now. Okay. I guess whatever. Let's sleep again. I think we saw like 3 dreams by now. We did see the dream where he like does the train heist with his partner, and also where his partner dies. But I'm not sure if... I think there are 4 dreams in total, right? You still need to see the dream where he leaves. Music is completely bugged right now. Kinda convenient that we have the spot here where we can sleep and trigger the dreams. Still nothing happening. Or did we already see the dream where he leaves Tamasa? I give it 3 more shots. This is one of them. That was 1. 2 more times. Okay. Also still seeing the Bitcoin symbols at the beds there. Cannot be unseen, guys. Cannot be unseen. They have Bitcoin bets here. Okay, nothing. Okay. Just eerie silence. Let's get out of here. Who knows? Maybe that triggers the scenes now? If I haven't showed you all the dreams, just let me know. I do not recall whether or not I have seen all of them. Let's see if I can trigger the event here now. Ah, yeah, okay, you need to watch all of Shadow's streams, I guess. That's the confirmation for me now. That I have seen all the dreams, okay. It's been a long time since you were last home. I'd like it if you stayed the night tonight. Night tonight, So Strago actually knows. Strago knows. Keep in mind, Strago basically adopted Realm after... We did actually see that in like one of Realm streams, when we did have the scene here with the music box. That's when we did see where like Realm's mother died and Strago and his wife did take Realm in their custody. What's the matter? Having trouble sleeping. Coming back to this village brings up old memories. Why are you up so late, old man? I can't sleep either. I should go. And I think this scene is actually in the base game, actually dummied, not accessible. But I recall that this is like kind of in the game. Quiet night. Yeah. Listen, Shadow. There's something I've long been meaning to ask you. Are you... Realm's... I'm a man who's abandoned his past. It's too late for me to discuss such things. I see. Then I'll just leave it at that. Still, I do have one request, Shadow. Let me see your face. Even if you are who I think you are, I won't try to convince you to stay. You have my word. I just want to know for sure. For Ram's sake too. I think that's actually new. That's like new sprite stuff. Thank you, Shadow. Now then, let's drink. Cool. Yeah, nice. And that was a nice little scene that I did read up. Cool. Like I said, in the base game, kind of, but actually not. It's cool that the T edition did re-implement that. Nice. Cool. Also kind of tragic if you consider like the story here now, that like Shadow is actually there for his daughter right now in a sense, but he cannot really tell that because he is afraid that his past catches up to him and like endangers his like family and stuff. That's actually kind of sad. Oh yeah, cool, nice. That's 2 more things off my list here. Oh yeah, another thing I want to show you. I've been talking. Why is the music here glitched now? It should normally play like a theme. Yeah, I think in Star Wars' case right now, the Black Mage's theme from Final Fantasy IX. I think that should happen. Also, why do Zetsa and Edgar not have... They need espers. And what they also need is, you need your Gungnir back. And you need Hero. I think I didn't give them espers because I didn't know what espers I should give to them. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, anyways, let's fly. I quickly want to show you, I did mention that Magicite shards are actually a good source. In the recap, I did mention that Magicite shards are a good way to obtain elixirs real quick. And we can actually buy Magicite shards. You can buy them here at the Cultist Tower. I'm not sure if I ever showed that off. But ever since we encountered the dragon on top of the tower here, there's a new shop that opened here. And that shop does sell Magicite shards. So if we talk to this guy here, I need to earn money to feed the flying dragon. And he sells us Magicite shards for 22,500 gil. That's actually, like I said, a good source of obtaining elixirs. It's also a very fast way to obtain elixirs because you only need to find an iron giant and you immediately get an elixir. So basically what this means, we can use 22.5k gil to buy an elixir here, which is pretty nice. However, it can be more cost efficient. You can buy the ornament belts, which is the method I already showed you. You can buy ornament belts in Tamasa for like half the money, and you can, with 2 steps, obtain elixirs as well at the Colosseum. So it is a little bit more involved because you need to fight 2 encounters with the ornament belts, but ultimately it is more cost effective and also the method I would prefer to obtain elixirs. But hey, just as a suggestion, if you really have a lot of gil here, you can use Magicite shards, buy Magicite shards here, and yeah, use them to get elixirs. You could also, of course, use them to summon random espers. I'm still not sure if like Jihad can appear from using that, but yeah, not my style. It's too random. It's just way too random. Do the encounters really need to annoy me here right now? I can flee. Aha, goodbye. Bye-bye. Cool. And that's it with all the small stuff I wanted to do that was still open. The thing I want to do now is a little bit bigger, and one of the biggest things that has haunted me ever since I was in the World of Ruin. And even before that. Because we are about to do the thing. I found a solution. Let me quickly heal real quick, and then I will tell you what it is that we can do. You might already know what I'm talking about, but yeah, what we can do after I save or what I want to do right now is, I want to get Kartoppelpass and Carbuncle, finally. So, I did already talk about Carbuncle and Kartoppelpass a lot during the course of this playthrough. Let me tell you the facts. Currently, in this playthrough, I cannot get Carbuncle and Kartoppelpass anymore. They are unobtainable at this stage in the game. I would have needed to fight them in the World of Balance. Getting them here is not possible. I would be able to gain them here in the World of Ruin by talking to that guy in, I think it's Sen, the guy that sold me the Seraph Magicite back in the day. If I played the 3.0 version of T Edition, which I'm not playing, if I were to play the 3.0 version of the game, I would be able to obtain Kartoppelpass and Carbuncle here in the World of Ruin, but as it stands, I cannot get Carbuncle and Kartoppelpass. At least not in a simple and smooth way. Okay, the thing is, I can still obtain them via like some weirder means. And the most natural way I could do right now, would be to go back to the beginner's hall here. Actually, a good spot here right now. I could go to the beginner's hall, and I could start. I could start a new game plus. However, that has some very wild implications. First of all, I'm not even sure how exactly New Game Plus works. There are a couple of things I know. I do maintain like all the items I have. I maintain the espers I have. I maintain like equipment and stuff. Like all of that persists if I use New Game Plus. However, of course, if I use New Game Plus now, I would have to play through the entire game up until this point again. And like I said, I'm not sure how New Game Plus behaves. I'm not sure if if I would have to do like all these side quests and stuff again, which I assume I would need to do again in order to like restore my status that I have right now. I would need to play through the entire game again, do all the side quests again, like in the same way I already did. And of course that comes with the side effect that I also would gain like duplicates of powerful items I already have gotten. And that's something I really want to avoid. I do not really want to get like another, I don't know, Ragnarok, another pair of loaded dices and so on and so forth, which I think I would be able to obtain if I use New Game Plus here and if I were to like restore my current status. If I would be doing that, I would obtain a whole bunch of powerful items again, and that's something I really don't want to do. And all of that would also come with the very like big downside. Of course, that would first of all take a lot of time, and the fight against Kartoppelpass and Carbuncle would also be kind of pointless, because at this stage I'm way too strong for them if I need to fight them in the World of Balance. So yeah, that's not the best option. It would be the most legit option, certainly, but it's certainly not the option I would like to use. Instead, what I will do, I will use a different method, and that method is called save editing. I did actually find a save editor for Final Fantasy VI, and it does work with T Edition. I'm not sure if editing the save file does cause some very weird effects, maybe. The way as I see it, I will just activate like Kartoppelpass and Carbuncle as like obtained, or the respective espers that appear in the save editor. And like I will just make it so, like the way I see it, the only thing I do is enable those two espers to appear here. I will not do like anything else, of course. And I hope it just does like make them appear here. Like I hope I only like tick a variable or switch a variable that makes it so that like those two just appear in the list here, nothing else. Because I'm a little bit afraid that it might like have some other weird side effects. But of course I have like a backup save and stuff. But yeah, that's the smoothest thing I can do now. I do not want to play through the whole game again just to obtain those two espers. I will use save editing to enable them in the menu here, and then hopefully everything is smooth after that without any weird side effects, and we can use those two espers. However, I'm not just gonna use a save editor now and like get those 2 espers. I also want to fight those espers, of course. I will not just like cheat and get the espers. I will also legitimately fight them and obtain them legitimately. And of course for that, we need to travel back to the past. I do always maintain like save states for like every episode, and I do have save states for like the end of World of Balance. So I will use that save state now and go back to that part, like that point in time, and we will fight Catoblepas and Carbuncle with the equipment that we have there at that point and obtain those espers legitimately. And then I will go back to this point in time after I've defeated them and enable them here in the menu via save editing. And that way I have fought the espers legitimately. I have like fought them like with legal means and like did not use NGPlus and stuff. And I also did not like obtain multiple items or like did other weird things that might reset my quest status. I think that's the smoothest solution. I also really don't hope that and don't think that like some side effects occur, but who knows. But the way I see it, nothing weird should happen if I use save editing to enable those 2 and nothing else. So I think that's the smoothest solution that I could have come up with. That's the way we will do it. So of course that means I will make a cut here and we will see each other in the past. Maybe we will fight Catoblepas and Carbuncle, and I could imagine that those 2 encounters will actually be pretty tough because I have like very low level equipment at that stage and like not all of the magic learned at that stage. So yeah, we will see how that turns out, and yeah, let's try to obtain those 2 espers finally. My nemesis. My nemesis is. We will see how that turns out. Alright guys, thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next episode of the Final Fantasy VI T Edition. Until then, take care and goodbye.